are called the natural state without reason, with an abundance of rivers, lakes, and streams loaded with adventure, scenic views that will take your breath away, biking trails and back roads just begging to be discovered. Sit back and relax as Ray Tucker and longtime journalist Brian Hendricks explore our magnificent state with this week's edition of Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Brought to you by Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Hope everybody out there survived the storms that moved through our state. And if you did not, you're in our thoughts and prayers. I will tell you that. This is the kind of weather that we love. The rest of this week, I think we'll get more rain, Brian. You came out of the turkey woods today, and you're dressed. I knew you weren't going to church dressed like that, but anyway, how do you know? Because I know you pretty well after doing this show for 10 years. We are honored to have a new guest tonight.
We do have a new guest tonight. Game and Fish Commission met today, and they hired a new director. It is their 20th director, and his name is Doug Schoenrock, who is a longtime executive in the food service industry. He had 20 years with Sara Lee and various other companies. He was also former president of Ducks Unlimited and former chairman of the board of directors of Ducks Unlimited, like George Dunklin was. And so we've got him with us tonight. He has just this afternoon, been named as a new director, and he is joining us here on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Welcome, Doug Schoenrock.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. Honored to be here and with y'all tonight.
Okay, first, before we start, Ray's on the edge of his seat here because he likes frozen foods and stuff. And so when he heard Sara Lee, he wanted me to ask you.
I had a piece of cake a little bit earlier today. It wasn't Sara Lee's, though.
Well, see, you shouldn't mention stuff like that. But Ray wants to know if you had your choice, Sara Lee carrot cake or Sara Lee turtle pie?
Ray, I know that we can never turn down turtle pie.
Just can't do
but
it.
I got a feeling that if you're like me, you try to watch what you eat and be as healthy as you can. At least carrot cake has a vegetable in it, and that's where I'd go right now.
That's where I'm a carrot cake guy all the way. Brian knew that, too.
There you go.
Yeah, we both are, so we're unanimous on that. But a long time in the food service industry. We talked at great length today, earlier today, and so welcome to the Game and Fish Directorship. You come in at an auspicious time, a challenging time, but also a time when the table has kind of been set for you. What's your perspective of all that?
I agree. I think that the natural state is first of all highly respected in game and fish management, and my predecessors have done an excellent job. There are things to be done. There's opportunities, as anybody looking at a new position would find. It'll be a challenge for sure, but I think there's opportunities to utilize my strengths, the things that I've experienced in the past with different careers, and bring those forth to the natural state for consumptive as well as non-consumptive users to enjoy and support the ecotourism business of Arkansas, which is a huge part of the budget in the state of Arkansas.
Doug, if you would talk about what attracted you to this job.
Sure. Well, I think the biggest thing that attracted me to the job was my passion, first of all, for the outdoors, all things wild, and the exposure I had to that. When you lead a conservation organization such as Ducks Unlimited that I did, you get exposed to a lot of really cool science and stuff. And I've always kind of been a science geek all my life. And what appeals to me most about this is the far-reaching aspects of not only the science, but all the constituents that I consider to be constituents or assets of Arkansas, whether it's a rock or a hickory tree or a mallard or a deer or a bear or an alligator or a tadpole or a frog or a catfish or a crappie or a bass. It's amazing the many constituents that don't have voices that I think need an advocate to help with support, habitat, and then helping the many patrons who like to take advantage and experience the assets with access and fundraising and more access and more fundraising, so that the natural state, in the wisdom of those folks who named it many, many years ago, continues on in a bigger and better and stronger way.
How does it feel, or what are the advantages, Doug, of taking over the reins of an agency that, for the most, generally, everybody's got their quibbles and everything, but for the most part, Game and Fish is seen in a very positive light by most constituents of this state?
Well, if you look at a lot of the Facebook comments in the last 4 hours, you scratch your head a little bit, because, but that can happen with social media, and I certainly understand that. I feel that taking the reins of an organization like this, and I'm going to use the word taking the reins very lightly. This organization is well managed. It has an extremely competent staff, very friendly staff, and very personable staff. They feel like family, and I haven't known many of them that long. The agency is led by an extremely talented commission, a commission that personally I feel has probably been somewhat underutilized in the past. And I say that simply because, having led one of the largest volunteer conservation-led organizations in the world, we've all felt that as volunteers. I'm excited to be on the staff side, and I've seen great opportunity here for excitement, communication, engagement, and basically leading a legacy for future generations. I think that's critical. I really think we probably missed a generation at some point in time in this continuum of time over the years, whether it's parents who have not engaged their kids in the outdoors, kids who use their thumbs more than their boots, and we have to figure out who that is. There's countless studies on that, and we'll figure out who that is, but we have to figure out a way to overcome what I believe is at least one lost generation, and that's one of my pillars.
We're visiting with Doug Schoenrock. Is that the correct pronunciation?
Yes, sir, it is. Thank you.
Brand new director, newly minted director of Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. We got about a minute. I was going to ask you what the advantages are from the positions you've held of coming into an agency where your senior staff has so much institutional knowledge.
And I tell you what, you want to pay attention and respect their legacy knowledge, and know that when a person walks in to a job like this, you're surrounded with people who are a heck of a lot smarter than you are. At least that's what you hope, and that's what I've seen so far. And so it gives you great solace to know that you are surrounded by consummate professionals, and they're doing a good job. All I want to do is help them be more successful.
Well, you come in at a time, right at the beginning of turkey season. What a great day to be named new director when you
didn't tie him up with turkey. Now, come on, Brian.
No, in fact, no. I'm tying him to me missing one at 6:45. It's all your fault, Doug.
Yeah, I apologize for that. But sometimes it's about going and not about killing, and you might get another chance to go, Brian.
There you go. Well, we will, and we're going to take us a little break here on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We're visiting with Doug Schoenrock, new director at the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. We're going to talk all things hunting and fishing, his vision for the future leading this agency, and all things like that. So stay with us.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
When you're out and about in the natural state, whether it's work or play, be sure to make Doubleby's convenience stores your one-stop shop. With 34 locations in central Arkansas, they're easy to find. Headed to the lake or just taking in the beauty of Arkansas? Stop in at your nearest Doubleby's location. Their double blend of coffee is always hot and fresh. Snacks, Doubleby's has them. Want more than a snack? Many Doubleby's have hot delis. And don't forget the hot breakfast sandwiches. Doubleby's, where you gas it, grab it, and go.
The leader in sportsbook apps in the state of Arkansas, Bet Saracen, has a club you might want to consider joining. It's the perfect offer for you if you like to play parlays. Head over to the Bet Saracen app, opt in, and get all the details on how to earn bonus cash with the Parlay Bonus Club. It's active through June, and it could be the key to stacks of sportsbook bonus cash. The Parlay Bonus Club on the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Attention Arkansas homeowners. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for 50 homeowners to participate in our Spring into Savings event. The first 50 homeowners will receive test market pricing on a beautiful new walk-in shower. Bath Makeover is looking to evaluate our exciting new product lines in real bathroom conditions, including a revolutionary new laser-etched shower wall system. That's right, you'll be compensated for your time just to determine if our exquisite product lines are the right fit for your bathroom project. The first 50 homeowners to call 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 50% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 0% interest financing options, senior and military discounts, receive a $200 Visa gift card with purchase, and call 1-800-NEW-BATH now to receive a $25 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. That's right, the first 50 homeowners to call Bath Makeover of Arkansas at 1-800-NEW-BATH receive these special savings. Bath Makeover of Arkansas proudly serves the full state of Arkansas, offering custom bathing solutions such as bathtubs, showers, and walk-in bathtubs. In addition to a lifetime product warranty and a 5-year workmanship warranty, Bath Makeover of Arkansas offers a price lock guarantee, meaning once you receive a free design consultation, your price is locked in no matter what. The first 50 homeowners to call 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 50% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 0% interest financing options, senior and military discounts. Receive a $200 Visa gift card with purchase, and call 1-800-NEW-BATH now to receive a $25 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH, 1-800-NEW-BATH, 1-800-NEWBATH.
When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters. Welcome back to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, coming to you live from our 103.7 studios and our Honda North Little Rock studios. To make that exact, we are delighted to have Doug Schoenbach, who is the new director of the Arkansas Game and Fish. That happened this afternoon. Brian was in the turkey woods, came running out, and here we are, Brian.
We are. And Doug, you mentioned something to me that perked my ears up. You know, you were talking about the tourism, you know, the ecotourism industry being worth about more than $40 billion in the state right now. You mentioned that there is a, you know, continual drain of hunting, at least hunting participation, and there is an increase in other types of, recreation, outdoor recreation that is either directly or peripherally involved with conservation and habitat. And there's always been this push-pull, yin and yang thing between what you would consider to be the Game and Fish Commission's traditional constituency and the rest of the people that pay the 1/8 cent sales tax. And it seems like you're in a better position than most to bridge those two. Well, there are more than two. There's multiple constituencies, and kind of get them all pulling in the same direction.
Correct. When you suck it right down, we're all people, and we all have, different interests. Some consumptive, some non-consumptive. Some people like to watch football. Some people like to watch baseball. Some people like to go duck hunting or deer hunting or bass fishing. And I think that coming out of major corporations, public-facing corporations who depend on the public to utilize their products, you learn quickly that you need to market and sell to your customers. And all those customers could be different as well. So I think that coming into this role and working with our professional communications teams and education teams to help market the many assets of Arkansas and meet those patrons where they are and help them have access and opportunity to enjoy those assets as well.
There's also, kind of a changing dynamic in the state where our population is growing, and a lot of people from a lot of different parts of the country are moving here now. And what we would consider to be traditional Arkansas mores and values are evolving a little bit. How does the Game and Fish Commission, take the lead and stay on top of that wave to maintain tradition, but also evolve?
Sure. I think we need to understand the demographics of what are coming into the natural state. What are their passions? And market to those passions, but not lose the heritage of the Arkansans and the rich heritage of hunting and fishing that they've enjoyed for so many years and generations. But yet, as the world we live in changes, things do change, and we can't. I'm a real stickler to not give up on where we've been, and never turn our back on those who have brought us to the dance. But yet, be open-minded enough to consider that everybody doesn't want to do the same dance that some of us grew up and have done. And so I believe that we need to understand where they're coming from, what do they enjoy doing, and if those things match up with assets and they can contribute to making the natural state more successful, bigger, broader, better, and more attractive, then we should try to help them do the things they like to do in utilizing the assets of the state.
You mentioned sports, and you can talk about the direction of the program and building value and increasing fan base. But at the end of the day, all anybody wants to know is who the starting quarterback is going to be. And that's kind of like where we're at in Arkansas, too. We've got so many things to talk about, but duck hunting is what everybody wants to talk about. And, we mentioned some of the dynamics that are going on. What do you see the future of that, going to?
Duck hunters have, and I'm pretty close to this issue, but duck hunters have had some tough luck the last couple of years. And some of it's been due to, everybody says it's weather and all that kind of stuff, but there's also factors in play that have resulted in lackluster seasons or peaks and valleys during a season. And, if you look back, and I'll just go back within the last year, spring came pretty early in 2024. And when ducks flew back north, okay, and to go to the prairie pothole region of the Dakotas or southern Canada, if they found dry conditions, they probably went on a little bit further north to what's called the boreal forest, which is a pretty much wet area that spans from coast to coast in Canada, east to west. And but the problem is there are a lot of native duck species that already nest in the boreal. And so if a mallard flew back to southern Saskatchewan and found dry conditions and didn't find it to their liking to nest there. They flew on. And when they got to the Boreal, well, they might be competing with some diving ducks or wood ducks or other ducks for that same type habitat. Sure, they would have laid eggs there, but they would have laid a smaller clutch and probably had a lower success rate. And they have to migrate a lot further as well. Well,
Doug,
we're
about to go sliding into a break here in about 3, 2, 1 second.
I'll pick up after that.
Hold that thought. We're visiting with Doug Schoenrock, new director of the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. And we're talking ducks and things. So join us on the other side with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Spring has sprung in Arkansas, and the truck inventory at Gwatney Buick GMC is in full bloom. Now's the time to upgrade your trade, because the value of your current ride has sprung forward, and Gwatney's prices have rolled back during April's Daylight Savings. Trade up to a new 2025 GMC Sierra Crew Cab and save up to $13,500 off MSRP. Call 945-4444. These Daylight Savings aren't permanent. The time to act is now. Kick your current high rates to the curb and get a 2025 GMC Sierra as low as 0.9%. Right now, let Gwatney Buick GMC lower your truck payment with new GMC Sierras starting at just $479 a month. So set your watch to save during Gwatney Buick GMC's Daylight Savings. 5700 Landers Road next to Sam's in North Little Rock. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Stock number 30976-31020. All offers with accrued credit. Some offers require qualifying trade.
This is Anthony Lucas, here to tell you about my favorite spot in Little Rock, Corky's. Sure, Corky's may look all ribs and barbecue on the outside, but did you know Corky's was also nominated for Central Arkansas's best catfish? And don't get me started on their chicken, shrimp, and nachos.
Those Big Joe burgers, Anthony.
Big Joe, when did you get here?
You really stealing my thunder, Anthony. Corky's is my place.
No way you love Corky's like me, Joe.
Talk to me when you have your own menu item, Lucas.
Corky's ribs and barbecue.
When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Congratulations to Alan Gallardo Lopez of Fayetteville and Lily Bershears of Rogers for being named the All-Arkansas Preps Outstanding Players of the Year in Cross Country, as chosen by the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. They are among the 400 Arkansas high school athletes who will be honored at the All-Arkansas Preps Awards Banquet on Saturday, June 14th, sponsored by CHI St. Vincent. The event is emceed by Steve Sullivan with special guest David Basil and linebacker for the New Orleans Saints, Demaria Davis. To find out more about the athletes selected or to purchase tickets to the event, visit allarkansaspreps.com.
If you've ever stood overlooking a bluff on Pettigene, floated the Buffalo, taken a leisurely drive through miles of Delta farmland, or even witnessed a brilliant sunset from your own backyard, you know Arkansas is full of beauty. Naturally, that leaves no room for trash. Get litter out of the picture and keep Arkansas in its natural state, clean and green. Visit KeepArkansasBeautiful.com to learn more. A message from this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
As is the norm on Monday nights at 7:20, coming out of the break, we visit with Neil Atkinson from Saracen Casino Resort down in Pine Bluff. Neil, we've got a lot of Major League Baseball, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, a smorgasbord, if you will.
We're playing at this time of year. We've got it. It just seems like, the NBA playoffs are in full string right now. You got live betting the Detroit Pistons at the New York Knicks. Right now it's 48-40, and the live line on that one is Detroit Pistons minus 2.5. Later on tonight, we got the Clippers and the Nuggets. The Clippers are on the road, but are favored by 1.5, and those are the two that we've got tonight. And a full slate of the NHL games tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The first rounds of that are going on right now, and everybody is wanting to know if we can finally get a Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup this year, and some people think that there's a good chance that's going to happen. And don't forget, we've got NCAA baseball taking on in-state rival Arkansas and Little Rock Trojans tomorrow. So I've got that going on too.
Well, you got a line on that, or is that am I too early for that?
It's a little too early. We have a money line. Arkansas is heavily favored on the money line at minus 1,600. I expect the run line to be around 6.5. But if you're an Arkansas bettor, check out those double R props. Last week, midweek, some of those really high dollar, high payout home runs hit last week. So if we can have a repeat performance of that. And, of course, with it being Monday, if you're a current user, don't forget to opt into the Parlay Club, because we know you make the parlays. And every one that you make that's 4 legs or more, you'll get credit towards. And depending on how much you spend between now and Sunday, you'll get a nice little cash back next Monday to spend for next week.
Neil, always a pleasure visiting with you. Have a great week.
All right, you too, and good luck, everybody, on all your parlays.
All right, and download the app, betsaracen.com.
And we're back.
Look, I just cut off our guy. I'm sorry. All right, I just cut off Doug.
Okay, well, we will have him call back. Anyway,
I hit the panic button.
Hit the panic button. So we were visiting with Doug Schoenrock, new
of all the people to cut off,
the director of the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, and he was talking about ducks going up to the boreal forest to nest and reproduce, mallards and things like that. And we have got him back to finish that thought. Doug Schoenrock, new director, Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, and we're talking about all the mallards that went to the boreal forest to become northern pike food.
Yeah, that's right. Some of them might have got eaten by northern pikes up there when they hatched, but no, I was kind of drifting into the duck season that we just all experienced, in Arkansas, and early season this year when duck season started opening in the northern states, across the Prairie Pottle region, it was pretty warm. So that really slowed down the southern movement of birds, which is something that is called a staggered migration. So we didn't get them all at one time when they came in. And then you pile on top of that with October through December of records we kept in the United States was the warmest in the last 130 years.
Oh, wow.
So what that did, that extended warmth, kept wetlands open a whole lot longer, and it delayed migration even further. So a lot of birds held in what's called that mid-latitude region, which northern Dakotas, Iowa, Minnesota, held birds longer. And that caused us to get a lot of fluctuation. And we also had dry conditions. Early on, in Arkansas, we were pretty dry, September, October. And then we got some rain in November. And that was really needed for our flyway. And then we got an Arctic system in late November that really brought the first big freeze, east of the Rocky Mountains. And that pushed a bunch of birds out of Canada as well. But it froze a lot of wetlands as well. But we had a pretty good warm-up, and so we opened a lot of the landscape and improved hunting conditions in those mid-latitude states. So what that meant for our hunters was we started kind of slow. When we got that little push, just before Christmas, it picked up a little bit. And then when the birds did come, the state of Arkansas had a pretty poor acorn crop this year. Okay, that was part of it. There wasn't a lot of food in the flooded timbers in some of the GTRs where ducks like to spend their winters. But bottom line of that was that unseasonably warm weather kept a bunch of birds further north until we got that push again in January. And then a lot of folks had epic hunts towards the end of season once it thawed out. You know, we froze there in mid-January, thawed out pretty quick, and then we had a decent, last week of season. And so it was up and down. And I know that the earlier forecast from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service predicted mallards up 8%. The overall migration up 5%. I don't think we ever saw that. When I was fortunate to have good hunts, we saw lots of birds, but there were a lot of hunts that I went on as well where we just didn't ever pull the trigger, never got into them. That's hunting, and good thing about us waterfowlers are that we're very persistent and optimistic lot, and we're looking forward to next year again, and hopefully have good breeding conditions on the breeding habitats, which means water and cover and habitat, and so that table is set up there for them to raise good broods, and then hopefully we have the table set in Arkansas when they get to us. They want to hang around for a little bit and fatten up before they go back north. If
you're just tuning in, we're visiting with the new director of the Arkansas Game and Fish, Doug Schuenrock, which was named this afternoon. I do want to say this, and I know you haven't had a chance to meet very many people. Brian and I have been doing this show for about 10 years now. You have so many sharp, young and older folks working for you. It's absolutely amazing.
I'm awestruck by them. Just sitting through, I'm watching online things and some of the folks I've met. I'm amazed at these folks, and that gives a person like me coming into a new directorship a lot of confidence that we don't have to stop and restart. We should be able to continue propelling the organization and the natural resources of the state forward.
Doug, the 20,000-foot view, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, where do you see Game and Fish Commission under your leadership going?
I would like to talk about the good things that the Game and Fish Commission does. I'd like to talk about our wonderful officers who risk their lives every day and do so many good things that very few of us hear about. And it's because these folks are dedicated and are passionate about access and people enjoying the assets of the state as well. And they do a lot of good things. So hats off to the many officers that are out there every day doing that job, but in many cases a thankless job. I see us reaching to a lost generation through our education department. I see us reaching into parents who can help us get kids off their thumbs and outside and enjoying some of the things we have, no matter what they are. I see us improving habitat, and not only in upland or waterfowl, but in streamside and in rivers that make our fishermen happy and that make our floaters and our recreational paddlers enjoy their time on their very limited weekends that they have to go out and enjoy those assets. So it's a lot about communication. We do a great job. I think that there's always room for improvement on anything we look at. And my plan is to take what we have, make it better, and make it more appealing to a broader audience.
Doug, I know everybody's pulling on Superman's cape right now, and you just were named today. Once you get settled in, we'd like to get you in studio and visit with us sometime.
Be my honor.
Very quickly, you got a big family?
I have two daughters. One is a school teacher in Sarasota, Florida, and the other one is in the U.S. Air Force and engaged to be married to a pilot on May 10th. And so, consequently, my beginning date won't begin until after that because I can't leave the house too much right now. But we're very excited for them. She's stationed right now in Washington, D.C., and he's stationed in Virginia as well. So.
Doug, appreciate your time very, very much. Having a great evening. Anyway, thanks for sharing all that with us, and we'll talk to you down the road here, okay?
Thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I look forward to serving, and let's make Arkansas what it has been for so many years. Let's just make it better and more.
Amen. Thanks, Doug. Back to talk trout fishing on the White River when we come back. When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
When you're out and about in the natural state, whether it's work or play, be sure to make W's Convenience Stores your one-stop shop. With 34 locations in central Arkansas, they're easy to find. Headed to the lake or just taking in the beauty of Arkansas? Stop in at your nearest W's location. Their double blend of coffee is always hot and fresh. Snacks, W's has them. Want more than a snack? Many W's have hot delis. And don't forget the hot breakfast sandwiches. W's, where you gas it, grab it, and go.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's gonna audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has got it. And that includes upgrading your truck with Vortex spray liners. Tough, durable, proudly made in the USA. Their spray liners can protect your truck for years to come. Call Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse at 501-568-0040 to schedule your spray, or stop by 65th and University.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters. They think Pete Rose was called Charlie Hustle. Brian Hendricks has been Charlie Hustle all day today, B, haven't you?
You know, I've said often that I've not worked a day in 20 years that I've been with the Democrat Gazette, but that string broke today. It was a day.
All right, we were at the Arkansas Fly Fishers Film Festival over the weekend, which was terrific. And there were a lot of things that we really liked, and we were just talking during the break what we liked the most. And one of those was on the White River, and we're getting ready to visit with Jared Ruggles, who is a guide on the White River.
Guide on the White River. I'm very much looking forward to fishing with Jared on the 1st of May. It's going to be May Day on the White. And he says that the fishing is just starting to really hit a crescendo and a peak here soon. And so we welcome to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, Jared Ruggles. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, guys. How we doing?
Well,
hey, if you're fishing with him, have you used up all your bad luck?
I don't know. I feel like there's maybe always a little bit more in the bucket if it's deep.
Well, I bring bad luck in a pretty big cooler, and we dole it out as we need it.
I hear you. I think I've got the same cooler.
So we were talking earlier, and y'all kind of had some things going on up there. You've had some high water and some fast water, and they're trying to flush that lake out up there. But it seems like the bad stuff is behind you, and the fishing is starting to really get good.
Yeah, man, and what a great time in Arkansas it is. Turkey season, turkeys are gobbling. Caddis is on the horizon. In fact, it may be here today. Got off the river. And in some of this higher water, I saw a pretty good hatch. We got off about 2, 3 o'clock. And so that's exciting. So, this thing could take off right now. Caddis is very much kind of dependent on how much of that sunlight gets down to the bottom of the river. So I feel like as soon as we get some lower water, or, as time progresses and we get more sunny days, this thing's going to be going good.
How long, Jared, have you been guiding up there and fishing up there?
So I've fished up here all my life. My dad used to bring me to the White, and I decided to get into guiding. In fact, I haven't been in guiding near as long as a lot of these guys have been. I got into it about 6 years ago and kind of tried to do my own thing a little while, and that was going pretty good. I had the opportunity to go work for a resort, so I did that for several years, and then recently I went back out on my own.
And what is the name of your service?
So I run Flyco. It's FLICO. We've had that going a little while, and it's going good. I'm excited.
And where do you work out of? Where folks find you?
Okay, so as far as where I can be found, I've got a website.
Yes, sir.
bflyco.com. We've got that going. It's kind of new, so bear with me. I'm fishing and learning how to build a website all in one go. And man, I had no idea how much work goes into a website. That's amazing. But it's been a fun learning process. So that website's a work in progress. But they can find my contact information on there, or they can Google my name and the White River, and surely I'll pop up.
And a trip with you costs how much for a half day and a full day, and what all does that entail?
Okay, so fly fishing trips on the White, generally speaking, they're going to be between $550 and $600 on a full day, and that includes lunch. Half days are they're slightly cheaper, $450, $475. My rates are $550 on a full day, and then $475 on a half day.
So you may as well go ahead and get the full day.
Yeah, we kind of incentivize that. A lot of the same work goes into the half days, driving to the river and the same kind of planning. But half days are great for people that maybe they're leaving town that day or they're getting to town that day.
So
I don't think you can stand Brian and I all day long.
Well,
you think I should go in there and change that to a half day?
Well, I don't know. Rusty will be there too, and you just never know what'll happen. But I used to read every month the Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame would send out their monthly or quarterly records, And it seemed like there was always some kind of line class record being set for trout on the White or the North Fork. And I believe that those two waters combined have more line class records than any other places in the world. And you're there in the middle of it. And then one of the films that we saw the other day were about some people that came from Michigan to catch the trout of a lifetime, and they did it. What is it like to ply your trade on a place like that?
It's awesome. That's the word that comes to mind, is awesome. The White is such a unique fishery, and the Fork is too. You know, they're kind of all in the same category there. They're both fantastic rivers, and then we have the luxury of having one as a backup. You know, say the White's not fishing good or conditions aren't favorable, maybe the lake's turning over. You know, you can go to the North Fork and have the same kind of fishing. It's just amazing the kind of trout we can grow here. You know, speaking of caddis, one thing that blows my mind is how a big fish will eat such a small bug. You know, this is the time of the year. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you're talking about a 30-inch trout, you know, that's more than capable of eating a 10-inch stalker, and he's down there hyper-focused on this one little bitty bug. You know, they're eating thousands of them, but that's what he wants to eat. It's they focus on that bug so much that, you know, a lot of the spin guides and stuff, they'll get in areas that don't have as many caddis, and they're still doing fine. Don't get me wrong; they're still catching good fish on sculpin and things like that. But they'll kind of back out of these caddis areas. It's just incredible, and you know, having this in Arkansas, it really is amazing. I've never seen a reason to leave our state. We've got such good, you know, turkey hunting and sometimes good duck hunting. And great trout fishing.
You know, there's no way to describe really what it's like to fish a size 22 fly like that in the foam, you know, and have a fish that big, not even just kind of sip it down, and next thing you know, you got the fight of a lifetime.
Oh, it's amazing. And, you know, as far as the drop fly stuff, you're watching them come up and sip it. You know, you maybe just see the very tip of his jaw. And a lot of times you have no idea how big that fish is that just ate that fly. And so you just never know what you're going to get. Every day is, you know, you have a chance of getting that literal, you know, the fish of a lifetime. It's awesome.
What's the biggest fish you've seen? Trout.
Oh, Lordy, seen? My goodness, I think we've seen some world records. I'd be confident in saying that. You know, you're in the 40-pound range at that point, and inches. You know, inches are almost irrelevant because they get so big around. You know, a 30-inch fish could range so much in weight. It's incredible, or 36-inch fish, whatever it may be. It could be long and skinny, or, you know, big around as a football. But I believe I've seen fish over 40 pounds in the White.
Just think what it would do for your business if you caught a 40-pounder, but we'll talk about that on the other side of the break, okay?
We're going to do that on May 1st,
okay.
right?
yeah, let's do it.
Thanks for the invite, Brian. All right.
Yeah.
We'll take a pause, back with more after this. When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state, or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
Hi, this is Joe Klein, former Razorback and owner of Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
And I'm Anthony Lucas, also a proud former Razorback and Corky's Barbecue regular customer.
We may represent different sports in different decades, but all generations of hogs agree.
Corky's is the only place to get the most delicious ribs and barbecue at a winning price.
So stop into Corky's now and every day for never-ending specials.
Corky's,
where the hogs come home, baby.
Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Spring has sprung in Arkansas, and the truck inventory at Gwatney Buick GMC is in full bloom. Now's the time to upgrade your trade, because the value of your current ride has sprung forward, and Gwatney's prices have rolled back during April's Daylight Savings. Trade up to a new 2025 GMC Sierra Crew Cab and save up to $13,500 off MSRP. Call 945-4444. These Daylight Savings aren't permanent. The time to act is now. Kick your current high rates to the curb and get a 2025 GMC Sierra as low as 0.9%. Right now, let Gwatney Buick GMC lower your truck payment with new GMC Sierras starting at just $479 a month. So set your watch to save during Gwatney Buick GMC's Daylight Savings. 5700 Landers Road next to Sam's in North Little Rock. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Stock number 30976-31020. All offers with approved credit. Some offers require qualifying trade.
Congratulations to Alan Gallardo Lopez of Fayetteville and Lily Bershears of Rogers for being named the All-Arkansas Preps Outstanding Players of the Year in Cross Country, as chosen by the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. They are among the 400 Arkansas high school athletes who will be honored at the All-Arkansas Preps Awards Banquet on Saturday, June 14th, sponsored by CHI St. Vincent. The event is emceed by Steve Sullivan with special guest David Basil and linebacker for the New Orleans Saints, Demaria Davis. To find out more about the athletes selected or to purchase tickets to the event, visit allarkansaspreps.com.
When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Doors. And we're visiting with, did I come in too early, Ray?
No, my bad.
All right. We're visiting with Jared Ruggles. We're talking about trout fishing on the White River. And, you know, we can tell by the sound of your voice that when you start talking about this caddis thing that you just kind of notch it up a level in enthusiasm. And it is a lot of fun. So tell us about the gear you're using. Like, were you using a 4-weight or a 6-weight, or, you know, run us through it.
Okay, awesome. So that kind of goes back to all the rain and stuff we've had. In fact, I'll tell you the lake's at 672.25. It's still rising. We're 13 feet above the current power pool. And the White River's running about 16,000 CFS probably on average. So that changes things significantly. When it comes to caddis, you know, there's a number of ways you can get them, a number of stages you can fish. A lot of times in the evening time or later in the day, you can hit these eddies and seams, and you're doing more dry fly stuff. When you're dry fly fishing, you're probably casting a 5-weight, you know, floating line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just kind of a standard setup, about maybe 12 feet a leader. And then a lot of guys will fish heavy tippet. Some will fish lighter stuff. I like to fish light. And then, so the other side of that, and in my opinion, the better bite are when these caddis are actually hatching. You know, they're swimming up from the bottom. They've got a shuck down there on the rock, and they've been in that shuck all year, just waiting to come out. And so when they come out of that shuck, they're swimming fast, and a lot of times the fish are are sitting there eating that. So there's certain runs you can kind of focus on. There's more areas that, were caddis, and a lot of that depends on the bottom and what kind of rocks down there. But when we're fishing deeper, we're usually running heavier rods, 6-weight, and you may be a few feet deep, or you may be as deep as 8 feet.
I think about all of the techniques that have been kind of debuted on the white. I'm thinking about the mousing patterns at night and the reticulated, live things like that, grasshoppers and
big
streamers and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
What's it like to be a part of a culture where people are just always trying new stuff that works?
Oh, it's crazy, and the competition is deep, man. There's some great guides around here. There's some guides that have obviously been at it way longer than I have, and I've been lucky enough to learn from them as well. As I go journey in my career. But the competition is steep. These guys are coming up with new patterns all the time. It's almost comical, to what lengths guides and people will go to kind of hide some of these flies. And I get it. I get it, man. You spend time on your vise, and you may tie 100 patterns that don't work, that aren't worth even keeping, and then you find that one that does, and that thing's worth everything to you.
So, what are the odds of landing, say, a 22 to 30 inch trout on a 4-weight, and actually, what are the odds of actually getting that fish to a net?
Pretty good if you're fishing some heavier tippet. Not real good on 7X tippet, but if you're fishing, a little bit heavier stuff like 5 and 4, the odds of getting that fish in are very good. You just let him run, and let him kind of wear himself out. Keep your rod high. With guiding, one thing I noticed, people have a tendency to kind of drop that rod and point at the fish.
Yep,
And it feels like you're being easier on the fish by doing that. In fact, when I was really young and learning how to fly fish, I would do the same thing, because you feel like you're being softer on the fish, but you turn into like a worn 8,000-pound winch when that rod comes down, because the rod's your shock absorber.
Yep.
So keep it real high, let those fish run with the rod nice and high, and you could probably get them in on a 2-weight.
It's funny you say that, because we were watching one of those films at the fly fishing tour, and a guy was doing that, and I just kind of inadvertently yelled out, "Get your rod up, man!"
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Sometimes I do that in the boat. Like, you have to take a step back and explain it, because they're like, "Oh, this guy don't like me," or something like that.
So here's a question I've got. Because the fly rig is an integrated system. Everything's got to be in balance. So when you're trying to cast a small fly like that, and you have to go up in leader size, what does that do as far as your ability to present that fly in a way that it needs to be presented in?
Okay, so that is going to be much more related to dry fly stuff. I think that's important in dry fly fishing, because you really need that tippet and leader and everything to be stiff enough to really lay something over, and lay it over in a manner that's not going to spook the fish you're after. So kind of matching your leader setup and your tippet setup to the hoppers or dry fly, that's pretty important. When it comes to nymphing, a lot of times, especially in this higher water,
hey Jared,
lessons.
Can you
hear me?
Yeah, there's a saying in show business: always leave them wanting more. Well, we've done that. We're to the end of our program here on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. And would you join us another time and kind of share a little bit more of your knowledge with us?
Oh yeah, man, I'd love to. That'd
All
be
right.
great.
Okay.
Right. Jared, thank you very much. You folks have a great week. Get out and enjoy the Arkansas Outdoors.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.